Welcome to the bold, guys. Yes, so as you can see, I'm home. Niko kwa shamba, by the way. I was here. Yes, nilikuwa najaribu there's still raw mahindi here. So I've really been liking the village back here. So I was here. Then nikaanza kugul kidogo and I bumped on a very interesting story. I want us to look at. I had decided that I was not going to do a video anytime until maybe to take myself some 3 days. But this has been interesting. So Sakaja is under threat. And I think I analyzed about this move by Sonko. It's not surprising me. Sonko is saying that he wants to collect signatures of Nairobi residents just to find out, see whether he can impeach Governor Sakaja. Let me say this. I analyzed in my analysis, I was still in Nairobi some time back, people who follow. And I said that Sakaja, there was an impeachment. I speculated that Sakaja was going to face an impeachment because of that fallout with Rigathi Gachagua. I'm privy to be, I think I'm one analyst that had been following this story. I've done like 3 videos on the same, and if you follow the bold, you can keep track of what I've been saying all along. And it all started by that statement from Riggy G himself saying that, look here, Sakaja needs to go slow on his plan to dislodge, rather to move out some of the buses from Nairobi CBD so that they can be taken to out of Nairobi. And these buses were affecting travelers from from Gema, even though it was a move. So when it came there, I think I understood exclusively that Sakaja, despite of receiving official invitation to visit Gachagua, he declined and was in the corridors that he was so uncomfortable and was feeling like he was being bullied. In fact, he became so angry. But just to keep you track with what has been developing over the story is Kiambu Githunguri MP, Gathoni Mushomba, later came, just the very day, came out and revealed that he had met, or she had met Sakaja over the matter, and they were pushing that those matatus are not removed from the CBD in support of Rigathi Gachagua. So also analysts were looking at, look here, this is a situation where Gachagua is pulling a card to defend the Gema people, which has been his style of politics since they came into power. How many Gema MPs are going to come and support it? Or how many are going to dance to that, his brand of politics? Then, boom, before we know, Sakaja was in Citizen TV. And he said that when he was asked about the matter, he said that there are some things that you just need to offer the leadership. And we fully support. In fact, I'm one person that have been insisting that there is no way you want to manage Nairobi from Nyeri town. You know, it's, and personally, I took an issue with the fact that even though Riggy G was having a valid point to defend his people, but it's a bit of an insult to the residents of Nairobi to leave Nairobi and to go to Nyeri and start talking issues of Nairobi in the middle of Nyeri. While in Nairobi, you can even call a press conference and the journalists will come. Or you can even book an appointment with Sakaja. What was difficult, Gachagua calling Sakaja and having that meeting. Now, what is coming over now is that Mike Sonko is coming out with a very interesting tweet. And he's saying he wants to collect signatures so that he can impeach Governor Sakaja. His reasons are 2. Now let's look at those reasons. Number 1, Sonko is saying that Sakaja did one thing. Is disloyal to the UDA party, and it seems not is standing with the people who supported or voted for him. That's number 1. Number 2, he's saying that Sakaja has disobeyed Rigathi Gachagua. So I want to ask just a follow-up question on that, just a quick rejoinder. So what is the role, is Mike Sonko's role to a member of that UDA disciplinary committee that are supposed to call Gachagua. By the way, I analyzed about that move for UDA disciplinary committee that had called Riggy, that had called Sakaja. The letter circulated, but they did not come out to respond, even though in the Nairobi County Assembly, when Sakaja, when ICT nominee, a committee that is led by Alai, when they were meeting for vetting, a host of UDA caucus in the Nairobi County Assembly walked out saying that they had not approved the lady and they didn't want. But again, I think she got her way because Azimio's side had the majority. So one thing you need to appreciate is this, that Sakaja is working closely with Azimio. But what is in the move of Mike Sonko? So in whose capacity is Mike Sonko defending Riggy G? And is it just this issue of Sakaja that is realizing that Riggy G amedharauliwa? Or rather there is some disrespect to Riggy G? I find that ridiculous, that reason ridiculous, because let me tell you, just 1 month after Ruto and Rigathi were sworn in, one of the biggest conversations that we had was that some government officers, I remember KQ and Kenya Commercial Bank, came out and debunked Rigathi Gachagua's statements in media. When Rigathi Gachagua made a statement that no, they were broke or on issues on KQ, I think the civil servants or some powerful government officials came out, and the outcry in the media was that maybe the office of deputy president is being demeaned. So what is this? What is so special with now Mike Sonko? But let me tell you, you know, what Mike Sonko is doing is what also Sakaja did for him. When Sonko was a governor, Sonko started that project. And I remember Sakaja challenging it in court. By that time, you know, it was for politics. Sakaja challenging it in court that there was no public participation. And I just want to make this special statement here. I think this matter, when is it going to be solved? You know, it cannot be just a merry-go-round of politics one after the other, because if we want to solve this issue of congestion in the CBD, which personally I also feel like the cars there is they are a little bit, they're bringing some filth, and there is no problem with them being removed from CBD. In fact, so long as it's not disruption to people's businesses, because that's also their income, it's not it should work. Mtu anataka kwenda Nyeri ataenda kupanda Nyeri, ataenda kupanda gari. Just like the people from Western, even if the buses, even if that Machakos bus park imefungwa, watataki kwenda home, hata jali eti gari iko wapi, ataenda malio gari iko na atapanda. So I don't know what it is in this contestation about Nyeri, about these places, Kiambu. I don't know, but of course that one I leave for the people that at least can speak from a point of knowledge. So this is it. Guys, I want to ask a question that I have also asked again. I want to ask it once more. So tell me, if there is a move to impeach Governor Sakaja, which I'm not shocked, because I said before I left Nairobi, I analyzed this video and I said that Gachagua needed to be Sakaja needed to be very careful, because this can lead to an impeachment move. Before, just 1 week later, this is what is coming out. So guys, what Sakaja, one question there ask is this: do you think President William Ruto is not involved? Okay, question. So if Sakaja, if Sonko is planning to remove Sakaja, do you think it do not have the input of William Ruto? So I want to answer that question by saying, number one, if William Ruto is not involved, then he should be a very worried man. I can tell you this for sure. If William Ruto is not involved, then he should be a worried man, because it seems Rigathi Gachagua wants to micromanage UDA affairs within Nairobi. But then I see some political intrigues here. But hey, make sure you subscribe. Niko home, yeah. Make sure you subscribe. And nikimaliza, I will be showing you some other farms whenever you're home. Because people who are abroad really want this environment, and I feel, I wish I was there. So let me say this. There is a possibility that Mike Sonko wants to come back and vie in Nairobi. I'm not shocked, because apart from that move, as much as it is seen, in fact, ile yenye amesahau watu wa Nairobi, he has said that amesahau watu wa Nairobi, has disrespected the people. And so, if what I can make here, if Mike Sonko is working on his own, or his own man, then he's trying to make a comeback in Nairobi politics. Because I think Mike Sonko vied in Mombasa gubernatorial seat, and did not make it there. But people would expect him to go back there. People would expect him to speak more about affairs of people in Mombasa, how Abdul Swamad is not working. But he seems to be interested in making a comeback. And his strategy is that maybe penetrating through William Ruto's side is not. But he might have realized that Rigathi Gachagua is uncomfortable with Sakaja and would want to go through Rigathi Gachagua, so that Rigathi Gachagua supports him for that candidate. Because this is it. If Riggy G, if he comes up and is trying to create something around Riggy G, then he's simply trying to reach out to Mount Kenya people who subscribe to the ideologies of Rigathi Gachagua. Some of which personally I think, to say the least, are so tribalistic. So, they're tribal in nature. So, he's trying to reach out to that voting constituency that believe strongly on Rigathi Gachagua. One thing you need to know is, these leaders normally do survey. They can do survey and just find out. Now, the way Gachagua is defending Mount Kenya, are people comfortable? So, what Sonko could do is to try to show himself, enjoy himself to Sakaja, to Gachagua, so that he can win his trust in terms of making sure that he gets that ticket. But then, guys, it's raining. That's just what I've realized. It's raining, but I must make sure nimaliza hii video, hata kama kunanyesha. So that could be number one, that he wants to dethrone Sakaja, wants to vie. And the strategy is to make sure kwamba amepata through Riggy G. Now, number two, Sonko, before he joined Kenya Kwanza, there was something he was promised. And I think it was in the corridors of the papers here, that William Ruto might have promised him something, and could be those deliverables were to be delivered through the county government of Nairobi. And with now latest development that Sakaja is working closely with Azimio, he actually wants a situation where he can cross ranks with Sakaja. Number one, he can anaweza kosana na Sakaja, and he's trying to push Sakaja to the wall just as a political payback. Or rather, he's just feeling like he doesn't feel uncomfortable with Sakaja and want to destabilize Sakaja, so that when he's destabilized, he does not deliver to the people. But it also works that way. So maybe Mike Sonko also wanted maybe some of his people to be given SEC, because that's what was there. It was announced that he amepewa sijui masek, sijui amepewa nini, and I was wondering, so why would William Ruto give Mike Sonko some minister in the county assembly? And I remember the discussion was that he's given an appointment in the Senate, in the county government of Mombasa, and in the county government of Nairobi. There was such a development. I think it was somewhere, Machakos and Nairobi. So, could be Sonko is feeling bit of betrayal. And what William Ruto should really get worried of is the discussion about political betrayal. Because the discussions on political betrayal is very critical. The reason why that discussion is not very good for William Ruto is, you know, after getting power, he gave leader, I think Ruto has given it all. It's for politics, or for optics and aesthetics, but he has done it the way he said, I was going to give you jobs. So he would not want. So if Sonko would come out and say, Sakaja promised me this and did not give me, that could be the move. That Mike Sonko just want to push Sakaja to the wall. Now, Nairobi politics is the most murky, let me tell you. And what has actually made it very difficult, or Nairobi to have a slow start in terms of development, and that's why I supported Uhuru Kenyatta's move, just to even surrender that Nairobi County Assembly, Nairobi County Government, a bit some functions to NMS, because Nairobi is a den of cartels. Is a den of cartels, and when you want to make decisions that look unpopular, especially the issue of the bars, you know, some of the people that have these bars here are the big county people that had worked in Nairobi County Assembly. Wao ndio wanajua hiyo biashara. Wao ndio wanafanya hiyo biashara. Now these cartels are uncomfortable with Sakaja because Sakaja alifunga mabiashara zao wakati alisema oh we are banning. And you remember, just remember some point, MCS had even lifted that ban and had challenged Sakaja to remove that ban on nightclubs because it was affecting. And even me personally, I supported that. Sakaja just needed to find different way of handling it, not total disclosure, total closure, but just find how also, as you want to give our children peace, which they really need, because these bars in the estates are making noise, but you must also find a situation you do it so that also people don't lose jobs. Mtoto hata kama mtoto basi anapigiwa kelele na hana chakula. So because some of the people that work in those restaurants are also staying around those places. So wale watoto wanaishi hapa, someone was making a joke that wewe unafukuza wale, unafunga hizo mabaa sababu wale watoto wako hapo hawafanyi kazi, they can't concentrate. Then someone was saying that people who stay around those places are also wafanyikazi hapo. So ukifunga hizo bar, hata watoto wao wanasema wanapigia kelele, they can't even eat because their mothers are jobless or their parents are jobless. So that's just another twist to it. So cartels, and Sakaja could have tried to dismantle some cartels, and corruption is fighting back against Sakaja. So Sonko could not be a man. Sometimes he's not a man on his own, but they have also sat down with his boys club and have realized, look here, Sakaja hatafanya hizi vitu hivi, and that's why Sonko is turning against Sakaja. Now lastly, if I want to answer this question, is William Ruto involved? Mi naona ako ndani. Let me tell you. Sitaki kumtoa. Mi naona ako ndani. Sonko now is around Kenya Kwanza. And Sonko is so close to William Ruto than Rigathi Gachagua. Why? If Sonko wants any job, it will be William Ruto. The cases, his corruption cases that they normally say was politically trumped, have also been dropped. That is courtesy of William Ruto. So what do you think could be William Ruto's move to send Sakaja? William Ruto also may have realized that Sakaja working with Raila Odinga will not solve. Because Sakaja is working with Raila Odinga and is working with Azimio side because Azimio have the majority, William Ruto could also be sending a Sonko to send a warning and to bring Sakaja to table with the president. This matter, you know where it ends? If these signatures are collected, it will go through the process, the public process of recalling the governor. So that process will continue, and do you know where it ends? It ends somewhere in the office of the president. When an impeachment motion gets to the Senate, you know, it will get somewhere. But one thing I know here is, Sakaja is a man that has a gentleman approach in politics. With the way he has done, with the way he has played Nairobi politics, even some senators that will see that impeachment will not accept it. In fact, Azimio side will support Sakaja. So on this one, I cannot remove William Ruto on 8. And could be, this will be applied to test what is his popularity, so that you hata tukipeka candidate mwingine yenyewe, what will be it? On this one, I stand with Sakaja. Mike Sonko should just let the good governor work. I think it's just 3 months. These impeachments on governors, I was here in Siaya. There are some changes. Unaona tu vitu zina change. So let's give the governors time to work. These impeachments and sideshows, when are we going to decongest the city? If every time we'll be going to court, every time we'll be trying to blackmail and threaten the county governor because of this. What Sakaja is doing is not new. Even when Sonko was there, so he also went to court and challenged. And I'm wondering why now Sonko is challenging, impeaching governor on that ground, while na yeye pia alikuwa governor na alianza hiyo project. So hiyo project hata it was in the CIDP, and that CIDP was drafted when Mike Sonko, CIDP's County Integrated Development Plan, that document was crafted when Sonko was a governor in Nairobi. Ladies and gentlemen, what's the politics behind it? What do you see? Mimi bado niko home, bado nakula mahindi. So let me just show you a bit. Bado nakula mahindi hapa. So this is shamba for those who want. This one is called cassava. Look here. This one. Yes, this one is called cassava. Yes. Yeah. Then we also have this side. I just want to show you something. So how this side, this is called potato. Yeah. So see you when I come in Nairobi, Mazeniko home. So you can also send me fare. Nimekwama. Yes, nimekwama home. So my number is there. Those who have my number, man, send me fare 0710 62 78 89. In fact, I just need a flight. So yes, I need a flight to Nairobi. I am not going to use Gari one. I need a flight to Nairobi. Mtu nilipia ticket. Just pay for me ticket anytime. Well, lipa tu ticket unitumie. Then mimi nitatoka nikuje Nairobi so that we can also do analysis back in the office. So see you then, guys. Yes, see you, and thank you very much for supporting me.